Well, these boys, man, they going crazy today. I heard of people robbing jewelry stores, robbing candy stores, robbing corner stores. These men trying to rob the police. Oh, let's see what this is about, man.
But we start with that brutal beating of an off-duty NYPD officer. Good to be with you. Oh. 5. I'm Gilma Avalos.
I'm Adam Cooperstein, and police now arresting one of the 2 men today in connection to that disturbing attack in the Bronx. There's surveillance video that shows what happened. Here's a look. You see the off-duty officer after he was thrown to the ground.
Damn.
Police say the 2 masked men there punched him, kicked him, and held a knife to his neck so they could rob him.
Wow.
The attack happened Saturday at 4 in the morning in Parkchester, and today we got word that U.S. Marshals tracked down one of the 2 suspects in North Chesterfield, Virginia, just outside of Arlington.
Wait, right over there?
Watson is live in the 45th precinct in the Bronx with the arrest, and who else police are still looking for. Charles?
Yeah, Gilma and Adam, the U.S. Marshals Regional Fugitive Task Force taking 23-year-old Tavion Hargrove into custody this morning in a suburb outside of Richmond, Virginia. Now the search turns to the second unidentified person involved in that brutal attack on an off-duty NYPD officer.
Why?
We will find you. We will find you.
Yo, he said that like a movie. You know that one movie? I will find you.
Mayor Adams making good on
He say we will find you.
2 suspects responsible for brutally beating an off-duty NYPD officer in the Bronx last weekend. Today, the United States Marshals
Maybe New York should practice more of his Second Amendment, right?
For New York and New Jersey, with the help of NYPD officers hunting down and arresting a bloody 23-year-old Tavion Hargrove right outside of Richmond in North Chesterfield, Virginia.
That's crazy.
Hargrove is one of 2 suspects police say are behind the robbery and assault of a 27-year-old officer at night on St. Peter's Avenue on the morning of May 24th. Video shows the 2 men robbed the officer of his belongings, including his registered firearm. One of the suspects kicking the officer in the face, leaving a shoe and broken bones. A horrifying thought for New Yorkers listening to.
Nobody should be getting beat up.
It's horrifying because, I mean, if an officer is attacked, I mean, clearly they might not know he's an officer, and that really doesn't matter. But what chance does any of the rest of us?
Sources tell News 4 Hargrove was arrested behind a house in North Chesterfield, lying on a mattress in a garage.
What?
Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch writing in part on X, quote, I am pleased to report Tavion Hargrove is now in the handcuffs of the officer he assaulted, later adding 1 under, 1 to go. Hargrove's father
2 of them did this.
Facing charges for allegedly trying to use the officer's stolen credit card. However, the father is not suspected of being involved in the assault and robbery. Neighbors saying they hope everyone involved pays.
Bro, wait. His dad tried to use the credit card. Hold up. Either his son lied to him or he involved, bro.
Hargrove's father also under arrest and facing charges for allegedly trying to use the officer's stolen credit card.
Bro.
The father is not suspected of being involved in the assault and robbery. Neighbors saying they hope everyone involved pays.
I think that's great. That they got at least one of them. I hope to get all of them.
Yeah, get all of them. Get them all.
Yeah, and so at this juncture,
gotta catch them all. Pokemon?
Police are trying to identify and track down the second person involved in the assault and robbery. The NYPD asking anyone with tips to call its Crime Stoppers hotline and tell them what you know. For now, we're live in Throgs Neck. Charles Watson, News 4 New York.
Well, thank you, Charles. Well, damn. It's a part 2 to this, ain't it? Suspect in violent robbery of an off-duty NYPD officer caught in Virginia. I know Virginia is several miles away. Wow. This is the second person,
¿10,000 en deuda de tarjetas de crédito? Mira esto.
So they put money in water.
Mensuales de tarjetas de crédito.
New tonight, a second arrest was made in the brutal attack of an off-duty NYPD officer who was robbed of his gun. That officer is now recovering at home tonight.
Oh my.
Heather Fordham is in the digital center with what we've learned so far in this investigation. Heather.
Well, Amanda, this manhunt took police to Virginia, where they arrested a second suspect today. He was found despite trying to wear a disguise to hide from investigators. Meanwhile, here at home, Officer Naviz is finally home after 5 days in the intensive care unit.
Oh, wow.
Surrounded by applause from his brothers and sisters in blue, this Bronx NYPD officer saluted as he was wheeled out of the hospital, his eyes swollen shut and the shoe print of his attacker still fresh on his cheek.
They stomped on his head consistently, and he has a mark on his cheek, as you saw. They took his gun.
The 27-year-old officer is a rookie with the department. He was on his way home from his shift early Saturday morning when he was brutally beaten blocks from his home in Westchester Square. Surveillance video showed the two men push him to the ground, hold a knife to his neck, and rob him of his wallet, phone, and gun.
He came to this country 5 years ago from Bangladesh, and his dream was to become a New York City police officer.
The video helped police track the pair to Virginia, where they found Tavon Hargrove on Tuesday. A day later, Wayne Lucas was cuffed while trying to disguise
himself as a what?
In a wig.
Kid got the damn Rick James wig,
Tuesday, a day later, alleged accomplice Wayne Lucas was cuffed while trying to.
Look at this junk, man! What the heck? Dude put his mama wig on, grandmama wig on. What's going on?
Disguise himself in a wig. Back at home, the officer is now on his way home to recover from a nightmare he won't forget.
The happy person.
Well, thank God you're okay.
This guy is gonna suffer for the rest of his life. He's traumatized. This thing is not gonna go away.
Yeah.
Hargrove's father, Jeffrey, is also facing charges for using the officer's credit card after the attack. As for the two suspects that have been arrested, we are waiting to learn when they will be brought back to New York to face charges. At the Digital Center, Heather Fordham, News 12, The Bronx.
Damn. Well, thank you, Heather. This is crazy, man. Shoot. Is this another video right here? Okay, let's see what this one says.
One of the suspects charged in the brutal beating of an off-duty NYPD officer made his first appearance in court today. 23-year-old Wayne Lucas is facing several charges, including attempted murder.
Should we look different without that wig on?
Investigators say he and 23-year-old Tavon Hargrove not only shattered several bones.
Now he look like his daddy again.
They left an imprint of a sneaker on the officer's face. Eyewitness News
Damn, man.
Is in the Melrose section of the Bronx with the very
latest
court proceeding. Marcus.
And Liz, in court, it was disclosed that officer is still suffering from vision problems as a result
of
that attack. As he recovers, his fellow officers today flocked to the courthouse in a strong show of support.
That's wrong.
Or not guilty? Not guilty. Wayne Lucas entered his not guilty plea.
Not guilty, man. They caught you for this. You talking about not guilty? Come on, get out of here, man.
Packed with police officers.
They caught you for this.
Minutes earlier, stood in stony silence as the suspect was led into the courthouse.
You got to be kidding me.
The 23-year-old is accused of beating and robbing an off-duty officer in Parkchester last month. The attack captured on surveillance video continued, prosecutors say, even after the two suspects realized their victim was a member of the NYPD.
He went and he put a knife to his throat, knowing he was a New York City police officer, punched him in the face repeatedly and left him to die on the street.
Sure, I bet that won't happen in Texas. They OP carry out there.
Last week, Officer Chowdhury Nafees was released from Jacoby Hospital, though he's still facing a long road to recovery. In court, prosecutors described how Lucas and an accomplice allegedly stole the officer's wallet, phone, and loaded service weapon while inflicting serious injuries. The 27-year-old was stomped in the head during the assault.
That's doing too much.
To the ground that over a week after
he was already down. What the heck?
This robbery, he still bore the shoe print in his face. He has vision loss at this time. He had multiple facial fractures.
Lucas was extradited to New York after a U.S. Marshals task force arrested him in Virginia. Prosecutors say at the time he was wearing a wig in a failed attempt at hiding his identity.
What the heck this man thought he was in a Tyler Perry movie?
One of our police officers, you attack every New York City police officers, and we will stay united until justice is served.
Yeah.
Also disclosed in court is the fact that the officer's weapon, which was stolen during that incident, has yet to be recovered. Now, much of the officer's wrath also aimed at the other suspect in this case, 23-year-old Tavon Hargrove, who is under arrest, but he remains in Virginia as he fights extradition back to New York.
Remains in Virginia.
Sullis, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Wow.
Te voy a regalar un promesaje.
That's going too far, yo. Try to stump the man in the head and all that. Come on, man. Way too far. You already had the items that you wanted. Just leave. Nah, you wanna try to injure the man, try to take him out. Somebody say he should get life. There should be no deal for him or his buddy. And you think you can get away robbing and beating off duty cop. You can't really fix stupidity times 2. Something like that. I don't know what them boys are thinking. To let him out anymore, please. Shoot, who knows what they gonna do? That's New York, man. They be tripping. Put him in prison. Give him 50. Give him 50. Somebody's never let either of these criminals out of prison. You know what kind of parents bring something like this into the world? I don't know. It could be the most caring parents. It could still go out like this, or turn out like this. Or if he never leaves prison, discussing what he did to that man who was walking home from work. I'm saying, man, that's messed up. This kind of attack should not occur whether you're a police officer or not. Yeah, factual. If he did not, or if he did that to a cop, imagine what he'd do to you. Yeah, that's what the dude was saying in the interview. They demand respect but give none back. Wait, who are you talking about? The cop or the guy that did that? So if he believes he's not guilty, why did he feel the need to wear a wig? Yeah, good point. Good point. Good point. So I was like, and if that cop thinks he's a hero, why is he wearing a coward's costume? So I said, who said it was a disguise himself? Maybe he wanted to wear a wig. Bro, that was definitely some type of disguise. So I said, yes, I know. My question is more of a rhetorical, sarcastic one. So I was like, yeah, right. You got to stop whatever you're taking. Yeah, he got to. He must be high. So, maybe you just want to wear a wig. What are you talking about? What is this dude talking about? So maybe he just wanted to wear a wig. What? So I'm judging the content of his character. Yeah, we all are, aren't we? I hope so. Somebody said you could judge by his skin tone and come to the same exact conclusion. Well, damn. Somebody said conviction would probably be over the content of his pockets, though. Yeah, that's how that works. Somebody said his pockets are pretty full when he's robbing people. I wonder if he's tried employment. Somebody said 23 years old and already 3 lives destroyed. And for what? He had his money, he had power over his victim. He knew he was a cop, and yet he had to keep kicking him. He had to keep kicking. He'll never see daylight again as a free man, and for what? Nothing. Nope. That was stupid as heck. Usual suspects. 14% of the wizards cast 50% of the spells. Wait, wizards and spells? Life in prison. Sans parole. His punk friend is fighting extradition and he's pleading not guilty. We the taxpayer are probably paying for their free legal representation too. Yeah. But look who it is. The 13% doing 70%. Somebody else said 14%. You're absolutely right. These bleeps are out of control. I'm not sure if I can say. I don't know. Sometimes the computer be tripping. Like on certain websites and junk, you can't see a certain color for some reason, and then that they know your comment is taken, and if they can take a comment down, it's like I don't know. Why am I not surprised? It's always the same. I don't think it's always. He won't be attacking anyone on Rikers Island. Nah, I mean he still might. Bad idea though, but hey, still might. The judges won't do ish. It's NY, probably. Hopefully they get long sentences. So it was a usual suspect. I see people say this all the time. Whether it's like, especially they only do this like if a white or black person commit a crime, you'll see comments, usual suspect. I'm like, what does that even mean? Indeed, when will Americans start dealing with the element? We are leaving this mess for our children to have to deal with. So, as usual, those 13% again and again and again. Yeah, BLM. So, as a black suspect, what a shocker. So, I know right, the other color never get caught. Wow. The statistics say that one group is committing a disproportionate amount of violent crime. What does history have to do with it? Somebody said the most recent race-specific age-adjusted homicide rates are 33 per 100,000 for AA persons, 12 for American Indian and Alaskan Native persons, 6, 100,000 for Hispanic persons, 3 per 100. Okay, so what if the Hispanics are black? You know they're black Hispanics, right? I don't know, man. And then and what if the Native Americans, got black skin? That could happen too. It could happen. Asian people, they got black skin. Okay, aren't the Indian people like considered Asian or something like that? Sometimes their skin be blacker than mine. You might want to look into all of that. The facts don't negotiate. Somebody said you should know the stats, and I believe you are a damn liar. Wait, who they say that to? I don't know who they responded to. Somebody said high testosterone. Somebody said your username is fitting. So I was surprised he played it not guilty and not the discrimination card. That was crazy. Dude said not guilty. He's like, dude, you caught on camera. Somebody said, why is he... Wait, somebody said, why he was not wearing his wig in court? Good question. That throws that other guy's theory out the window. Talking about maybe he just wanted to wear a wig that day. Why didn't he wanted to wear a wig on a court day? The wig was missing. He pulled up with his ceiling missing. I guess he wanted to be different. They act really tough until they get in front of the judge. Then they cry for mommy. Yeah, they never cry for daddy. He is a coward. Should be sentenced to life without parole. If you're such a tough guy, why can't you make a living? Why can't you compete with everyone else your age? Hey, good point. They must have the same animals as usual. Oh, man. This was not according to the statistics, pointing more towards your type of beast. Oh, shoot. Somebody said, what type is that? Shoot, cats be tripping with that junk, man. They act like everybody ain't human. Just because certain people are screw-ups doesn't mean that everybody that share a similar skin tone are engaging in the same activity. But I guess that's what they expect, and hey, that's what they expect out here. And most of the time you see comments like this, well, not this one, but like this one. It's always somebody that's face isn't showing. It's pretty strange. Sometimes animals don't do wrong, as they have no concept of right or wrong. People, on the other hand, do know the difference, but simply don't care. Facts. Wait a minute. Animals do people wrong sometimes. They'll rip you in freaking shreds. But I get what he's saying, though. He was saying. Demographic of the suspect, absolute shocker. I'm like, dude. It's like, dude, countries that have like less, countries that, I don't know who said that, so I can't really respond. Could be an AI, could be some bot. I don't know who it is. I can't really respond. AI trying to start something between the human race. Hey, but that could be an AI. We don't know, is that a person behind that? Somebody said, check your grammar, dude. Somebody said, learn to write. Wait, what? You forgot the period at the end of your sentence. Wait, who was they talking to? I guess these people comments be deleted or something. Why doesn't the grand jury indict when it's one of us getting robbed or beat up by one of these lowlives? I don't know. Remember, we had years of protests protecting these bums. Shoot, for all we know, them people probably not even American that did that junk. I wouldn't be surprised. I heard there was a lot of non-Americans in New York that could pass as Americans, right? Since non-Americans and Americans, they're both human, so duh. They could pass as one, you wouldn't know. Especially if they get fitted, dapper, dressed to impress. How would you know? So you check their information, you look at the name. Oh, this person don't even have an ID. Okay, let me see. Damn, they don't got a green card either. Look at that. But whether they are American or not, you know what people gonna say. Yeah. Well, people, so-called people, might be AI. Some of these colors might be AI or some junk trying to start something between the human race. I wouldn't put it past them. Programmed by the prison system. They got money to make. You know. They got money to make. They got land to take out of poor people's division over skin tone. Ain't that something? Isn't that something? Okay, I'll leave you with a verse or two like I always do. I ain't trying to make this video too damn long. We got Proverbs 6, 30 through 31. People do not despise a thief if he steals, to satisfy his hunger when he is starving. Yet if he is caught, he must pay sevenfold, though it costs him all of the wealth of his house. So these people, they about to pay with their freedom, because most likely their pockets are empty as heck, going on no lawyer fees, or they might get free lawyers. I don't know. That's New York. New York be tripping. Sure, they might get some free lawyers, then they might get out. That's crazy, man. I don't know. Maybe these guys were starving. Maybe. Either way, it ain't right. Either way, you're going to do that time. Because if you don't, that's unjust. It just is. Sure, yeah, that's unjust. If these guys get out after doing that junk. They need to do a good 30 to 40. So they can understand that you can't do things like this. You know? What they call it these days? They call it being on demon time. Well, you reap what you sow eventually. When you do things on demon time. You're supposed to do things on God's time. Not on a demon's time. Or Satan's time. But they learn the hard way eventually. No matter what skin tone they may have, they learn eventually that if you disobey the Lord, you will reap what you sow. The people that's if those are even people. They don't say anything. I bet they don't say anything on a video with somebody that don't have dark skin do something, and they go to prison. They don't got nothing to say. That's crazy. That's if those are even people. I don't think those are even people. I think those are AI at this point. Cause they none of their profiles do you see their face. It's AI. It's either AI or faking a bot. Something. It ain't no real person. Can't be. Nope. I refuse to believe that it is. Can't be. The boy trying to start a faking, not a race war, but that don't exist. They trying to start a faking colorist war. Color is a real thing. This race junk, man, they made that junk up, dog. I think I used Gemini the other day on my phone. And I was like, yo, Gemini, can I use that on here? I don't know. How you do that junk? How you do that junk? That's what you do that right here? I asked it the other day. Can I use that junk? I don't know. I know it did it on the computer. Oh, look at this. Does it... Wait. Yeah. Use the microphone right quick. Let me see if it work. Hello? Shoot, the junk ain't doing nothing. Probably need freaking adoptive flash player or some junk. Junk ain't doing anything, man. What the fuck? Hello? Oh, okay, it did work. Wait, bring it back. No, do it over. What's tomorrow? Let's see, do it work. Tomorrow will be Thursday. Sure. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this thing. I don't know how. Some people be having it reading to them and junk. I don't know how to do all that junk. My first time using this junk. Is race real? Nah. You know they're about to lie, right? Let me see. See what they say. The overwhelming scientific consensus across biology and social sciences is that race is a social construct, not a biological one. So I guess they're agreeing with me in a way. Yeah. Here's a breakdown of what that means. No biological basis. Extensive genetic research, including a human genome, if I said that right, project has shown that there is no genetic basis for distinct human races. No genetic basis. Humans share over 99.9% of their DNA. And the small genetic variations that exist do not align with traditional racial categories. Genetic variation within the racial groups is greater than the variation between them. Physical traits like skin color, hair texture, and facial features are superficial and are inherited independently, meaning there is no package of traits that defines our biological race. Social and political invention. The concept of race, as we understand it today, largely developed in the 18th century. It was primarily used to categorize people and establish social hierarchies, often to justify systems like slavery and colonialism. And I figured that these categories were fluid and changed over time and across different societies. That's why I only go off of nationality and ethnicity. But most of the country does not. Real world consequences. While race isn't biologically real, I knew it wasn't. The social experience of race and racism is profoundly real. Yeah, they made it a social thing, yeah. Political thing, basically. Racial classifications have been used to create and perpetuate discrimination, inequality, and prejudice in areas like housing, education, healthcare, and the legal system. Yep, that's why you have the whole... That's how the DEI thing came about, right? What was the other one called before DEI? They had something before DEI. Affirmative action. All of that stuff came about because of this whole social thing that they made race into, right? Because that's all they could do with it. People waking up. People like, man, this junk ain't biologically real. So like, damn, what else? How else can we use it? We're gonna target people's feelings since they are so soft these days. Make it a social construct. Let's try that out. And now they making all kinds of money from this junk. Tons of cash, big money bags. Them boys richer than they ever was before. They was already rich, now they more rich. Meanwhile, because of this crap, the poor don't get a thing. The rich get rich off of this, the poor don't get a thing. Simple. Distinction from ethnicity. It's important to differentiate race from ethnicity. That's what I just said a few minutes ago. Race tends to refer to groupings based on perceived physical characteristics, often in historical and social connotations of hierarchy. Ethnicity refers to a group of people who share a common culture, language, history, religion, or national origin. It's about shared identity and heritage, not typically about inherent biological differences in the same way race has been understood. Yeah, heritage, identity, social construct. Yeah. Just, that's the same reason why if there's anybody else that reacted to this video that I reacted to, right? This joint here. If these are people in the comment section, they are expecting like somebody that looks similar to me, right? Similar skin tone. If they react to this video, they're expecting them to just get angry and have their feelings hurt. That's if these are people. I don't think they are even people. I think these are AI bots. The face ain't showing on none of their accounts. It is what it is, though. People gonna be how they want to be. But regardless of that, do you know Christ? That's the most important part to this. Do you know Christ? You notice in the scripture they never say the exact skin tone of Christ. People just assuming. It don't matter to me, but the people that it do matter to, they need to reconsider that. They need to place their priorities in better places, like their salvation. That's what they need to do. But unfortunately, a lot of people ain't gonna do that. It's sad. I already read this, right? This one right here. Yeah. About thieves, and not hating them, but also not withholding their punishment from them as well. Don't hate them. Just put them in their place, basically. Right? Gotta pay sevenfold for the things that you take. But today is different. You paying with your freedom, boy. You getting more than 7 years. I'll leave it off with this one. Wait, they read it? Wait, what I just do? Play it. See what it say.
John 3. Now there was a Pharisee, a man named Nicodemus, who was a member of the Jewish ruling council. He came to Jesus at night and said, "Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher who has come from God. For no one could perform the signs you are doing if God were not with him." Jesus replied, "Very truly I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again."
Oh, they're about to read the whole chapter. I thought I was just going to read this one. We got John 3:36 here. And it reads, "Whoever believes in the Son has eternal life, but whoever rejects the Son will not see life, for God's wrath remains on them." That's all these people do, is reject the Son when they start to hate people off of their skin tone. It should be an individual thing, but they're trying to make it a whole group thing. And it's like, it is what it is. History repeats itself whenever people don't learn from it. So that they it'd be civil rights out here again. Jim Crow might end up back in his mug. Probably. I wouldn't even be surprised if the junk happened. I'd be like, it is what it is. You know, I'm trying to focus on my salvation more than anything. Of course, I try to focus on survivor too if we get to that. Because at that point, you got no choice. At that point, you got no choice now. Sure. That's what they want, you know? That's what the higher ups want. The people that run the world is going to make them more money for the prison system. You know? Big Pharma even making money off this junk. Cats being rushed into the ER. You know? Stab wounds and junk. Gunshot wounds. Because these fools that started Civil War #2. Which I doubt they'll do it. I doubt they'll be able to do it. But who knows though? Like I said, history repeats itself and junk. You know? But you gotta also keep into account that people on the internet is not the same as people in real life, right? Because people on the internet, some of them, like I said, are bots. Not real people. Can't be real people. They're just trying to start something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're trying to start something. I saw an AI video the other day, and the AI said, "Oh, we're not here to." What was the word he used? We're not here to empathize with humanity. We are here to replace humanity. That's what he said. We are here to replace humanity. He didn't say, "Oh, we are here to replace blacks." "Oh, we are here to replace whites." No, we say humanity. So hey, if cats really wanna just keep their mind in that on freaking skin tone and all that, okay, fine. If cybernetic systems become a real thing, okay, cool. We're gonna need each other more than ever. But hey, cats wanna keep their mind elsewhere. You know? It don't matter who the heck it is on the street at night. You see anybody. If you see anybody in a black hoodie, you should walk the other way. It don't matter who it is, man. It don't matter what their skin tone is either. It don't matter if they're short or tall. You know, fat, skinny, muscular. You never seen this person before? And you got a bad feeling about it? Walk the other freaking way. Simple as that. That's why I wish that cop would have did, but hey, unfortunately, this happened to him, and hopefully he be okay. Hopefully he recovers all the way. May the Lord heal him in Jesus' name. They messed that man up bad. Hopefully he pressed charges so that this don't happen to nobody else by those two guys. Of course, there'll probably be another set of guys that do something similar to this, right? Crime don't stop. Sure. Some people think it's poverty. I don't know what it is. I think it's just sin. I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah, they was both rich nations. You think they stopped hurting people and all of that? Heck no. They continued. So I don't think poverty is the sole purpose of this, or the sole reason of this. It's sin, man. And humans love of sin. They love it. They love it. And they don't want to give it up. That's why most people are hellbound. Simple as that. I'm gonna be about here, man. Glory to the Most High. May peace be upon you all and blessings from the Most High.